coming up after the break. The second semi-final, Manuela Maleeva from Switzerland against Barbara Paulus from Austria. The world's number 6, Barbara Paulus, against the world's number 9, Manuela Maleeva. See you here on Eurosport in just a moment. Welcome back. Welcome back to San Diego and the second semi-final between Manuela Maleeva, the world's number 9, and Barbara Paulus, the world's number 18.
It's Manuela Maleeva, one of 3 illustrious sisters.
There's her profile. 23 years old, yes, a tremendous family. Katerina 21, Magdalena just 15. She's won 12 career titles, ranked number 9 in the world, and the number 4 seed here. Very much a clay court player, and that's represented in that Grand Slam profile as well. 3 quarterfinals in the French, but has also reached the quarterfinal twice in the US Open and 4th round in the Australian, but has been not so successful, as you can see. Just one victory in '87 in the first round at Wimbledon. And Barbara Paulus, just 19 years old, from Vienna, winner of the European Open back in '88. And in '89, reaching the final of Marathon. A couple of wins this year, ranked 18. Has moved up the ranking list fairly dramatically this year and beginning to be a threat to the very best players in the world. But a terrific run she's had here. Good win in the quarterfinal against Ros Fairbanks, 7-5, 6-3. There's how she's done in the Grand Slam so far. Last 16 of the US Open, last 16 this year in the Australian. Beaten in the first round at Wimbledon and has had some good results too in France. But this should be a fine match. The winner of it to meet Steffi Graf in the final. What do you think about the clash of styles, Paul?
Well, both players are very strong at the baseline. Maleevas are all well known for their very solid ground shots, forehand and backhand. Manuela, one of the steadiest players in the world. Barbara Paulus has a beautiful two-handed backhand. That's really her best shot. A little bit shaky on the forehand, but as you said, she's made great progress this year. She's broken into the world's top 20. And I think the Austrians are hoping for a big future from her. And you'd have to favour Manuela, though. Very experienced player. And she'd love to get through to the final and do what her sister didn't do in Toronto, and that's beat Steffi Graf.
So here's Barbara Paulus to start us off. Much cooler now in this evening. Ideal tennis conditions.
We just see Manuela Maleeva flinch, and she hates unforced errors, characteristic of the family, and all credit to her the way she plays such a high percentage of good shots, and you really have to draw those errors out of the Maleevas.
Do you think Barbara Paulus has got to establish his authority, move up to the net at most opportunities?
I'd love to see her do it, but I frankly don't think she will. That's not really her style. She's also a baseline player, so you have to wonder how she's going to beat Manuela. With that style, Barbara very happy at the baseline, as many of the women are. What she can do, though, is crack those short backhands. She's really got a good backhand.
Beautiful disguise.
Well, beautiful cross-court backhand from Manuela, and look at this disguised drop shot. Barbara Paulus didn't even move for it. Well, there's that backhand from Barbara Paulus. She really hits it well, gets the short ball, cracks it down the line. Good shot.
First double fault and a break of serve in the opening game. And Barbara Paulus has to be a lot more consistent than that, because that's one word that really is integrated into her very soul, isn't it, Manuela Maleeva? Not the most spectacular player in the world, but she can grind it out.
Very much so. Really a very sound game Manuela has, and you'd have to say out of the two players, she is the more sound on the forehand as well as the backhand, and a big job ahead for Barbara Paulus, but no one can afford double faults on break point, and Barbara Paulus must know she'll have to be at her very best form today or she is in trouble.
So here's Manuela Maleeva, who was born in Sofia in Bulgaria and now lives in Geneva. Married to Françoise Franier now, who coaches the Swiss boys team.
That's right, Manuela now of course a Swiss citizen and able to represent Switzerland.
It's interesting for Manuela because she can now play against her sister in Federation Cup.
That's true. There may be a little bit of a time lapse before she can, given that she has represented Bulgaria for so many years, but certainly I know that's her intention. We don't see that too often. I'd like to see that again. Manuela Maleeva coming there, hitting a very good backhand volley. It's perhaps something she's been working on. Looked very solid too.
Well, from the crowd's reaction, it sounded like Barbara Paulus had to win that point twice.
Well, there's the Cyclops, which picks up the service lines, but not the baseline.
So the number 4 seed looking pretty powerful in this opening section of this second semi-final. The winner to go through to meet Steffi Graf tomorrow. Steffi, who's already beaten Zina Garrison 6-4, 7-5 in the first semi-final, bidding for her 50th tournament victory.
Manuela then noticeably trying to direct the ball to Barbara Paulus's forehand. The easy shot there for Manuela. There's a beautiful backhand from Barbara. Once again, really hits that shot well. Can't say the same about her second serve at this point. She really needs to work on that. Not enough kick or spin on the ball.
Yeah, she's not able to exert any pressure even on first serve.
Very good off backhand here by Manuela. Not an easy shot. Did it very well. 30-all. Crucial game for Barbara. Needs to hold serve to get into this match.
There's that backhand you were talking about. Really gather speed.
Not much chance for Manuela there. Barely getting a racket onto the ball. She'll have to watch hitting that short ball to Barbara's backhand. Manuela steady as a rock that point. Refused to give up the unforced error. Brings it back to juice.
Well, that's her third double fault already, and only in her second service game. She has to tighten up. Generally much too loose, and at the moment it's looking very good for the number 4 seed. Manuela Maleeva leads 3-love. You'll be back with us in just a moment. Welcome back here in San Diego. Manuela Maleeva is 3-love up against Barbara Paulus in this second semi-final of the Great American Bank Classic here in San Diego. Following the first semi-final where we saw Steffi Graf beat Zina Garrison 6-4, 7-5 to take her place in the final. Barbara Paulus there from Austria, really struggling at the moment. That's by far her biggest weapon there.
Barbara really jumping on this backhand down the line. Good shot.
short ball, but it's not her favourite place up there towards the net. First double fought for Manuela. Suddenly the concentration seems to have gone, and at last a ray of hope for the Austrian. And as you could see there, Manuela really mixing it up, and eventually the mistake came.
Haven't seen moon balls for a while in women's tennis. Since the young girls like Salish have come along, they're just clobbering it so hard. Manuela really mixing up the pace in that rally.
Yeah, can't say I've missed it.
Touche.
Beautiful deft touch.
Well, a nice half volley by Barbara Paulus, but Manuela does well to get here, and look at the shot just inside the baseline.
And it's not good enough.
Well, once again, the unforced error coming from Barbara's forehand side, which is a little weaker than her backhand, but not doing enough to get into this match. She's a better player than she's showing right now, and I'm sure she'll be keen to get on the scoreboard and show Manuela that she's here to play.
And there's a rarity. Low volley from Manuela Maleeva.
Well, good tennis there. She really set the point up well, and when she knew Barbara was on the extreme run, just touches the ball into the open court. Barbara doing all the work and Manuela dictating.
Well, she's not playing great competitive tennis at the moment. So here 2 break points again for a 5-love lead. And she's going more and more confident with each game. 3 successive breaks of the Paulus serve. And she'll be coming out serving for the first set. And Barbara Paulus looks a little bit of a pushover when you watch this, but I can assure you she's far from that. Rapidly moving up the rankings. Already won $81,000 this year. Close on $250,000. But there, Manuela Maleeva, who's been at the top really since '84. $1.75 million and $180,000 this year. Moved up to the number 9 in the world. She's been around that for most of her career since 1984. Serving now for the first set.
Well, she's been top 10 for as long as I can remember, Simon. I think the only way she'd drop out is if her 2 sisters push her out. Well, good point there from Barbara Paulus. Dictating at the net, Manuela not able to do enough, and Barbara hits the easy volley into the open court. It's a long way back from 5-love down. Barbara Paulus completely missed timing that forehand. Not a difficult shot, but her confidence is not high. So I suspect her mind is already thinking about the second set and getting off to a good start.
Showed much more grit then, did the Austrian. And here's a chance, break back at last.
Well, good depth from Barbara Paulus, putting the pressure on Manuela, not hitting the unforced error too early in the point. Not that time. Very poor return, not good footwork, really jammed herself on the backhand side.
shot there of she changed and wrong-footed and completely bamboozled Barbara Paulus.
Well, it's the third or fourth time it's happened. I think Barbara Paulus needs to make up her mind and say, you won't do that to me in the second set.
Well, what a way to do it. Emphatic play from Manuela Maleeva, and the number 4 seed takes the first set 6-love in a rush. And again, Barbara Paulus had a chance here.
Well, not enough angle on that overhead from Barbara, but she's got to put that set behind her, start the job again in this second set and try and get into this match. That's a way. I think Manuela entitled to ask the question, but it just missed that sideline. Let's have a look again. Looks like it just missed. Well, here's a chance for Barbara Paulus to get on the scoreboard.
She so badly needed that. And the crowd reacting to it. And maybe now we have a match on our hands. It certainly should be with her record. She leads a game to love in the second set, having dropped the first. 6-love. You'll be with us in a moment. Welcome back to San Diego. Second semi-final in the Great American Bank Classic between Manuela Maleeva from Switzerland and Barbara Paulus from Austria. Going to join the game now in the 6th game of the second set. All the games have gone with serve, and it's Barbara Paulus leading 3-2. Maleeva serving 15-love.
Barbara Paulus has done well to get back into this match. A horrible first set where she made too many unforced errors, but she's served well and hit a backhand well. She's up 3-2 in this set. She'd dearly love to get to the final and play a lady that speaks the same language German, that's Steffi Graf.
And it really is becoming a match now.
Very purposeful backhand there by Barbara. Cracks it down the line. She can go either way with that two-handed backhand. Watches Manuela's shot drift over the baseline. But she's in the groove now. She's back in the match.
Beginning to become the boss here.
Well, she forces Manuela to hit a one-handed slice. That gives her the chance to take the offensive and hit the ball down the line. She drew that tentative reply from Manuela.
2 break points now for a 4-2 lead.
Well, Manuela Maleeva, they're really overplaying the game to Barbara's forehand. She really needed to mix it up a little bit more and finally came up with the error trying to get to Barbara's forehand. So the first real blow for Barbara Paulus in this match.
And the first time she's broken the Maleeva serve. 4-2 up then. First set to the Swiss, 6-love. And everything about her looks more purposeful now.
Well, Manuela just bothered by the sheer power of that backhand. Barbara gets enormous pivot and power behind that ball on the backhand side, and Manuela couldn't do anything about it. Fine shot. Once again, the off backhand by Manuela. Very difficult shot. I wouldn't recommend club players to try that shot, but she's really played it well in this match.
There's a very determined look on her now, does Miss Maleeva, to get right back in front. And now a critical point. Break back point straight away. He has rushed that. Second chance now for the number 4 seed. She worked hard for it and deserved it. So she's back on level terms as far as breaks are concerned now. Trails 3-4. What a remarkable family Manuela comes from, though. Katerina and Magdalena, the sisters. The mother, Yulia Beberian, national champion of Bulgaria 9 times. The father, George, played basketball for Bulgaria.
Incredible sporting family, of course. Katerina is already in the top 10. In fact, it's just passed Manuela on the rankings. Magdalena at 15 is possibly going to be the best of them all. And I thought it was interesting that the mother, when reporters would try and interview Magdalena, she said, "Go and speak to Capriati, she's 15, and leave Magdalena alone." But an incredible family. I think it'll probably be the first family to have 3 girls in the top 10, which would be remarkable. Of course, Barbara Paulus representing the new breed of tennis player from Austria on the men's side with Thomas Muster and Horst Goff and Antonich. So tennis really booming in the German-speaking countries, and we wonder why.
I think everything's booming in the German countries at the moment. Going back to your point, I think obviously Becker's been booming for several years, and I don't think we should underestimate. I know we're watching a women's match here, and Steffi's been very important, but Boris was the first on the scene.
Well, that's right, and of course here's Manuela's backhand topspin lob, and just a great tennis boom with Becker and Graf in Germany. Of course, it spread it across the border into Austria, and why not?
And as a result, tennis facilities mushrooming all over Europe, but particularly Austria, Germany. They've been really roaring ahead for the last 5 years, but it's just starting in Austria as well. So it's going to feed on itself.
Yes, I think it's a good move for Great Britain to allow Europe into the Whiteman Cup.
Can you tell me the British player is going to be playing there?
Sarah Loosemore.
I hope so. I hope so, Paul. Going back to the Whiteman Cup, Barbara Paulus here beat former British Whiteman Cup player Monique Java in her first round match on the way through to the semi-final here. Barbara Paulus could be part of that European Whiteman Cup team, as could Manuela Maleeva, of course.
Well, just a spot of bother here for Manuela Maleeva. Decisive first set, 6-love, but she's now facing break point to go down. Service break in the second set.
Well, that was strong, positive play from the 19-year-old.
Great backhand there by Brabham, follows it up with a cracking forehand cross court, and she'll now be serving for the second set. Quite a turnaround in this match.
Three breaks in a row. Can she stop it here? Stop that sequence and level up. She is able to change the rhythm of the match, isn't she, fundamentally?
She's a very good variety. She hits a high moon ball and then she moves into the court and hits the backhand down the line. Well, good backhand cross court from Barbara. The first volley before it a little shaky, but she wins the point.
And what I like about the Austrian's play now, she's trying to dominate.
Well, she really has to take over the game because Manuela just won't come up with the unforced errors, so Barbara really has to be aggressive and force those errors.
And she has to stop making the errors herself. And here, a chance for the fourth successive break of serve.
Just not getting back for that overhead. Lucky to hit it on the frame.
A fourth double fault, and what a time to do it. So she leads 5-4. When Manuela Maleeva comes out, she'll be serving to stay in this second set. She'll be back with us in a moment. Welcome back to San Diego, California, the semi-finals day in the Great American Bank Classic. We've seen Steffi Graf through to the final. And here, Barbara Paulus of Austria against Manuela Maleeva, formerly of Bulgaria, now of Switzerland. And Manuela took the first set 6-love. She trails here 4-5, serving now to stay in the set. A warm evening. Thankfully a lot cooler than it was earlier this afternoon, where it reached 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, Barbara Paulus winning that all-important first point. Manuela should just inside the sideline. Barbara tried to hit a one-handed backhand back. Great placement from the Swiss girl.
A second double fault.
Very clear call that time.
Just come back to my seat.
Well, Manuela Maleeva doing the right thing. When she sees the two-hander having to hit a one-handed backhand, she sneaks in and hits the forehand volley. That's what you do when you see a two-hander being forced to one hand.
And a bad error. And a significant time. Quite a mixture she is in this game. Two cracking winners and some errors as well.
Well, short backhand here, and Manuela beautifully hits it down the line. Very compact. Well, this is what we call a friendly net cord. It just sits up and asks to be hit away.
Well, now a real chance for Barbara Paulus. Set point. And a terrific way to win it. Really concentrated, purposeful, direct play, and she's back on level terms after that nightmare start.
Great effort by Barbara Paulus, and what a good point she played on set point. A very purposeful forehand down the line. Deserved that second set, as Simon said. After a disastrous first set, she's back in this match. She wants a meeting with Steffi Graf tomorrow. Let's see if she can do it.
Suddenly Maleeva has picked her game up. We've had 5 successive breaks of serve. We could well be on for number 6. It's in, and some spectacular play, the best of the match so far from Manuela Maleeva. She looks as if she's revived herself, Paul.
Well, great first game there by Manuela after a rather indifferent second set by her standards. I really think after that first set she thought she'd be back in the dressing room by now and getting ready for playing Steffi tomorrow. But all credit to Barbara, she hung in, started taking the offensive from the back of the court, forcing Manuela into the odd error. Here we see Barbara hitting the backhand down the line, but look at this forehand pass inside the box, cross court, right on the line. Manuela is going to be tough in this third set. If Barbara's to win this match, she will have to play her very best.
1-love up, third set in the second semi-final of the Great American Bank Classic here in San Diego. And she's got herself together really well at the start of this deciding set.
Yeah, she certainly gives you the impression she knows what the score is. Start of the third set, she wants to get on top right away. No mental letdown. The same can't be said of her opponent. She just has come off the ball now. She's won that second set. Certainly let down a little bit, and she better hurry before it slips away.
The first ace of the match.
Well, 8 straight points at the start of this third set from Manuela, and Barbara needs to get going right here. All the good work to win that second set will count for naught if she doesn't get going now. Oh!
Right, it's inspired play at the moment. Everything pinpoint accuracy, a lot of strength of purpose.
Oh!
And Barbara Paulus, not surprisingly, looks uncertain at the moment.
Well, she's lost 10 points in a row and to start the third set, so I'd be a little concerned if I was her. She really needs to be more positive.
And maybe now she'll start.
Well, we didn't see what happened, but I'm pretty sure I know what happened. Forced Manuela to hit the one-handed slice, must have come to the net and hit the volley into the open court. Good tennis from the Austrian girl. Here it is. Topspin volley to boot.
Chance for 3-love then, for the number 4 seed here.
Well, after that last smash, I wasn't sure where that was going, but she found the court. Very aggressive play from the Austrian girl. She did not hold back here. Smart tennis once again. Forced Manuela into the one-handed backhand. She snuck into the net and forced the error down the line.
Just seemed to lose the plot a little bit there. Well, she murders those overheads.
Great offensive tennis from Barbara Paulus. She comes into the net when she sees Manuela Maleeva so far back in the court. Good tactics and great smash to finish.
Super play from Paulus. The longest rally of the match. She showed great patience. Patience she hasn't shown before. She's still a break behind in this deciding set. He'll be back with us in San Diego after this. Here in San Diego, a fascinating seesawing match. The second semi-final in the Great American Bank Classic. Barbara Paulus this end has just won a fine game, but she's still a breakdown in the deciding set against Manuela Maleeva. 2-1. Maleeva leads. The winner to play Steffi Graf in the final tomorrow.
Well, the last 2 points have really been a test of wills, and of course Barbara Paulus held serve with a wonderful point to finish the game. Must give her some confidence. She really needs to go on with the job in this game if she's going to win this match. she must be disappointed with those points after playing such a good game. She's now down 40 love and facing a 3-1 deficit in this third set.
And that's the danger when you play so far back. So Maleeva reasserts herself, 3-1 up, deciding set.
Well, very good disguised drop shot again from Manuela, and really showing why she's top 10. Barbara Paulus throwing out the challenge early in the third set with that good game, but Manuela staying very much on top, 3-1.
She's got deceptive power, hasn't she, Maleeva?
She took that ball very early and sliced it down the line with the forehand and tends to run away from your opponent. Very good shot, that down the line forehand. Manuela Maleeva's back in control of this match.
And that's the problem. She plays the rally so well for the most part, and then just a moment's lapse of concentration.
She really doesn't move back well for those overheads. I'm sure it's something she can work on. Well, danger time here for the Austrian girl. 1-3, 15-40 against one of the world's top 10 players.
And again, that massive ricochet off the net cord. She uses to her advantage. And it's looking very good now for Manuela Maleeva. And Barbara Paulus pondering what might have been. But it's interesting, Maleeva has stayed around the bottom half of the top 10 for the last 5 or 6 years, and yet her game has consistently improved. It's just that the girls around her have got better and better, and new emerging talent on the scene.
She really hasn't got the one big weapon that you need, I think, to break into the top 5, such as a big backhand or a big serve. But look at all the top players in men's and women. They always have one big weapon. I think she's done awfully well with her game to get to the ranking that she's had and stay in the top 10 for all those years. But I think she'll have to start looking over her shoulder at the younger girls behind her with the sorts of games that they have. But if she wins this match, she'll get a crack at Steffi Graf tomorrow and nothing to lose, so maybe she can prove me wrong.
4-1 up in this deciding set.
Well, once again, a well-disguised drop shot from Manuela. Barbara again too far behind the baseline and not able to get the ball back into play. Such a compact backhand from Maleeva, very much in the Chris Evert mould, very compact, never looks like she's going to make a mistake, very much in control.
And it's rushing away fast. It's amazing once the momentum's truly behind you how quickly the match can go.
Well, Barbara Paulus really needs to take a big breath and stop the momentum of this match. It's okay to rush when you're winning, but not when you're losing. She really needs to slow this down if she's going to get back in this match.
Oh dear. That was going so well for her in the second set, but now it's all turned sour for her. 3 games in a row to Manuela Maleeva, and Barbara Paulus here serving to stay in the match.
I really think Barbara should have taken more time in this set. She's really let this slip away too quickly. Manuela's played very steady, very purposeful, but Barbara Paulus has shown in this match she's capable of the highest caliber of tennis, but really let it slip.
Points away from that final. Fifth double fault, 3 match points to Manuela Maleeva. Well, it ended very much as it began. A convincing Victory in the end for Manuela Maleeva, but the scoreline shows how it might have been in the middle set.
Well, a fine win from Manuela Maleeva. She showed why she's the top 10 player. Her opponent, Barbara Paulus, top 20. She really turned it on at the start of the third set, winning the first 10 points, and from then on, there was no doubt who the winner would be and who would face Steffi Graf tomorrow.
And Barbara Paulus can go away and contemplate on what might have been, and she has to toughen up a lot on her consistency.
I think her mental frame of mind, it really was a little bit lacking. She showed a lot of experience, especially early in the third set as well as in the first set. Here Manuela Maleeva showing very compact backhand, draws the error from Barbara Paulus, and that's the end of the match. Very pleased Manuela Maleeva. It's always nice to get a crack at the #1 player in the world. She will tomorrow.
6-love, 4-6, 6-1. So Manuela Maleeva takes her place in the final of the Great American Bank Classic. And that's the final.